Well, today what I want to share with you is a story about someone I played high school football with. And so in high school football, or at least where I played, we had what we called two-a-days, and two-a-days were really tough back then, particularly where I had played football at, because two-a-days were two practices in one day. And first of all, what made it tough was that it was early in the morning. We were on the field by 7:20 is when we were on the field. And then when we were on the field, the first thing we did was run and run and run a ton right at the beginning of practice. And then we'd practice for 2.5 hours and then run again at the end of it. And then we'd come in, we'd have a little bit of a break, and then we'd go back out, practice for 2.5 more hours, and then run at the end of that too. So it was really, really hard and really, really tough. And so this guy that I played with was interesting is that he would go out every year. And he would go out during two-a-days, and he usually just got his butt kicked quite a bit during two-a-days. But he'd go out there for two-a-days, and then as soon as two-a-days were over, he would quit. And we're all looking at him like, what are you doing? You just went past the hardest part. The rest of it isn't that bad. So in high school football, after you get done with your two-a-day schedule, you're on your game weeks, and everything's very predictable. You have one practice a day, which seems very easy after having two a day. And the schedule is very predictable, and you know what's going on. And so once two-a-days are over, it's not that bad. And he would quit after two-a-days were over. And we're like, look, if you could make it through two-a-days, you certainly could go through the rest of the season. And so that reminds me of a verse in Romans chapter 8, verse 32. And it says this, since he did not, and it's talking about God here, since he did not spare even his own son, but gave him up for us all, won't he also give us everything else? And so that's a great promise in this verse, because, it's basically the logic of it is this, is since God gave us his son, there's nothing else that's too hard. He's not going to hold anything else back from us. He's given us everything he has already. He's already done the hard part. So he's going to give us everything else, and everything else that he gives us is for our good. He's not going to send his son to die for us and then try and destroy us immediately after that. That wouldn't make any sense. It says since he gave us his son, since he didn't even spare his own son, he will give us everything else. And everything else that he gives us is for our good, not to destroy us. And so that is just a wonderful promise, because not only does it have a really big sweeping promise that everything, he gives us everything else, but it gives us a reason for that, and that's that because Jesus died on the cross, and there's nothing more sure and more solid than that. And it kind of goes along with what we were talking about the other day, is that God doesn't hold anything good back from those who love him. He doesn't hold anything good back from us. And so God is not someone that's stingy, because after all, he gave us his son. Is he going to hold back anything else? Well, I hope you have a great Thursday, and we will see you again tomorrow.